Hi, welcome to EDSC 551. This is Legal and Ethical Issues for school counselors. In this course, we're going to learn and introduce legal and ethical practices and principles for school counselors. The emphasis will be placed on legal and ethical issues school counselors will encounter with their diverse populations, such as individuals with disabilities, individual education plans, 504 plans, consulting and collaboration, due process, confidentiality laws, and students' rights, counseling codes of ethics, as well as federal and state laws. By the end of this course, you should be able to apply ethical and legal decision-making process, articulate some school counseling philosophies to as it pertains to school counselors' personal identity, examine key positions of FERPA and in the Elementary and Secondary Educational Act, understand the responsibilities of maintaining confidentiality, student records, ethical and confidentiality, and the legal responsibilities for that. Your textbook is Ethics and Law, and you can find that on our VITA source. And you also need to have your APA. Just one reminder for the course, please remember to download the APA template and use it for all assignments, okay? Follow the template. Once you follow the template, you will not lose points on your APA format, such as subheadings, title pages, references, in-text citations. All of these are required for every single assignment. So it is important that you use that template. And once you download the template and start with that template every single time you begin to write your assignments, whether it's a narrative format or any other format, please make sure that you do use that template. In this course, there will be 5 different assignments, and I am going to go over those 5 different assignments shortly in the PowerPoint, and you can use this as a reference to go back to it if you have any questions or concerns about the assignments in the course, or if you happen to miss one of the live sessions, this will help you to have a review of what is expected for each assignment. You also have your discussion boards that are due on Thursdays, with the exception of the final discussion board due during week 8, which is due on Wednesday, and the final peer responses are due by Friday. Any other time, the discussion boards are due on Thursday, with 2 responses to peers on Sunday. So keep that in mind as you go through the course. We will have live sessions on weeks 1, 3, 5, and 7. And we do have a presentation that is due in this course, and that will take place during our week 5 live week 3 live session. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and begin with our assignments for the course. A little bit about myself before I begin with that. I have been working with Concordia since the inception of the school counseling program. I've taught all of the courses within the program as it has changed over time. I began in 2011. And I have enjoyed every moment of meeting the different cohorts and different groups of people here. I've also done supervision, field work, and I can help you or assist you with any questions or concerns as it relates to that. All right. Okay, as we begin, so our assignments, as I stated, we have the 5 assignments that are due during this course. The first assignment is our ethics and professionalism, which is due week 2. Our second is personal and professional views on the LGBTQ plus AI issues, which is due week 3. The third week is our historically underserved students, and that is the the presentation that you will present during our week 5 session. Then our fourth assignment is freedom of expressions, and that goes over students' rights, speech, written word, clothing, and social media. And then we have our signature assignment, which is our analyzation of 3 court cases. So we will go over, I'll go in detail over each assignment. Our first assignment is due week 2, is ethics and professionalism for school counselors. You're going to define what professionalism is. What does it mean to you as a school counselor? And you're going to also include ethical challenges that you might face. Identify any challenges that you think that you would face as a school counselor. You need to review Dr. Stone's video and the impact of at least one idea from Dr. Stone's video is significant to you as a future counselor. Also, they would like you to include in here cyberspace and ethics. Do you have a social media? Those are some like Facebook or anything other. What does your social media say about you? We've got TikTok, Instagram, all of these other ones that are existing as others are coming up. So which ones do you use? And comment on your personal views and values during use of social media as a resource for school counselors. So how can school counselors ethically use social media in their job and profession? You also need to include APA format with citations, and this paper should be approximately 3 to 4 pages. The second assignment is the personal and professional views of the LGBTQ issues. You're going to explore your beliefs and expand your understanding and consider your role as a future school counselor in creating a safe, affirming, and inclusive school environment. Reflect on your personal beliefs, your upbringing about that population. You're going to discuss human costs to transgender students and the impact on school campuses, policies, and confidentiality. You're going to describe any new learning or changes in your views that have occurred as a result of your reading and viewing of the 3 required videos. And then you're going to reconcile your personal, religious, and professional values as a future school counselor when addressing the LGBTQ issues. So there are 3 required videos. Those 3 required videos are Becoming Me, the Laramie Project, and the Crossover Kid. So you're going to review those videos and then apply what new learning occurred as you viewed those 3 videos. All right. In your narrative, what new learning has changed in the thinking that has occurred for you? How do you reconcile your personal, religious, and professional values, including one idea from the videos, and then commenting on whether these issues are currently prevalent or being addressed at your school or your work location. Our third assignment is our historically underserved students presentation. You're going to create a 4 to 5 minute presentation that examines legal protections, challenges, and counselors' application for one historically underserved student group. The historically underserved student group, it could be special needs group, English language learners, undocumented youth, racial and ethnic minorities, foster youth, homeless youth, and economically disadvantaged, and our LGBTQ youth. You're going to describe current challenges, the academic barriers, mental health concerns, disproportionality for discipline, access to resources and supports, stigma, biases, and discrimination. You're going to identify 2 relevant laws, any mental health related and or educationally related laws that apply to that specific group, and explain how the laws impact students, how they can have access to services and supports, the protection of their rights, reducing barriers and inequities, and promoting academic and social emotional success. And then you're going to discuss applications as a school counselor. How would you apply these laws in practice? Advocacy and systems change, collaborate with families and staff, and ethical and cultural responsive practices. Again, you will present this during our week 5 session. There is no paper attached to this assignment, just a PowerPoint. Our 4th assignment is our freedom of expressions in schools, and we're going to focus on 4 areas. And we want to make sure that we're thinking about students in high school, only the high school level for this particular assignment. So we're going to find a relevant law on verbal speech on campuses, written assignments on campuses, clothing on campuses, and off-campus texting and social media posts. So what you're going to focus on is identify at least one relevant law for each area, discuss the challenges for counselors in applying these laws, and describe strategies for compliance on the high school campus. This should be approximately 2 to 3 pages long, again, using APA format and citations as well. Your final assignment is your signature assignment, is ethical and legal theme, applying to court cases. The book is filled with court cases, and you are to use another resource on top of that. So you may use the court cases that are inside the book, but you need to find it in a different reference. So what you're going to do is using the book has major themes throughout. One thing to keep in mind is that we are not looking at our population. We are looking at the themes that are in the books. So you had an assignment on your historically underserved population. That's one assignment. This assignment is on due process, confidentiality, duty to report, duty to for harm. These are all of the themes that are in our book. And this way you're going to select a major theme, and then you're going to take 3 court cases that apply to that specific theme. An example would be confidentiality. So I'm going to find 3 cases on confidentiality. And then I'm going to analyze those 3 court cases. I'm going to use literature review and credible sources from the CUI library or any other credible source that we have, not just my textbook. And then I'm going to provide a comprehensive analysis, breaking down the issues, reasoning, precedents, supporting research, and strengths and weaknesses of both sides. And we're not going to give our opinion. And then I'm going to reflect, conclude, and apply. So your paper must include an abstract, which is 100 to 250 words summarizing the primary legal and ethical issues and outcomes. The purpose, why did I select this particular issue and theme, and what is my personal and professional connection to it? The problem and the belief statement, connecting our beliefs and our importance of the issue. And then we're going to analyze. When we analyze, we are not going to summarize the 3 court cases. We're going to develop the strengths and weaknesses of those 3 court cases, whether the plaintiff won or did not win in those 3 court cases. And then we're going to, in the next paragraph, we're going to list the outcomes. What were the findings of the court cases that were relevant to school counseling? And then we're going to reflect. How did these cases impact your understanding and practice of legal and ethical issues? And then we'll have a conclusion. So please make sure that you have all of those sections available. Again, this is on your assignment page, and this should be about 4 to 5 pages. So, and you should have your citations and your references to help for that. All right, so those are 5 assignments for this course, remembering that our signature assignment is our final assignment, and it is also the assignment. If it is not completed, you cannot get a grade for the course, as that is a university standard. So if there's any conflicts or concerns, make sure you reach out to me as soon as possible to ensure that we can work with you on completing the course within the 8-week time frame. Thank you so much. I look forward to meeting with you during week 1 of our live session, and you will see me again through my instructor videos. Thank you.